guys, welcome back. Another day, we're going to be talking about Alex Turcotte and Trevor Zegras, and we're determining which player is the better center. Now, behind Jack Hughes' shadow, both Alex Turcotte and Trevor Zegras are having amazing seasons in the USDP. But which prospect is the better player and center? Watch till the end to find out. Now, the 2019 NHL draft is looking like an amazing one for USA Hockey. While Jack Hughes is most likely going to go first overall, both Trevor Zegras and Alex Turcotte are showing why they're such amazing prospects, putting up some amazing point totals, and likely being both top 5 picks in this upcoming draft. Now, both Turcotte and Trevor Zegras are putting up some pretty similar point totals, both putting up some amazing numbers in the USDP and the USHL, but both players are fantastic, even though they're almost completely different when it comes to the overall game. But picking between the two is like picking between my favorite children, because they're both honestly fantastic. Now, we're going to start with Alex Turcotte, who started out the season injured. He was injured, I think it was like a broken knee or something for the first couple of months, or I think it was sprained or something. But he missed the first couple of months, I think returned back in early December, and after he got back to the USDP, he was as good as new. He went off to an amazing start and was absolutely rocketing it, and so far he's had an excellent season when he has played and has been great. Now, he's 18 years old, he's 5'11", 194 pounds, born in Island of the Lake, Illinois, and in the USDP and USHL, he's just been fantastic in both. Now, in the USDP so far this season, he's played 30 games, getting 23 goals, 30 assists for 53 points. In the USHL, he's played 16 games, getting 12 goals, 23 assists for 35 points. And he's been fantastic in both leagues, honestly. The USHL, I think, is the more impressive part, as it's a pretty solid league, and Turcotte has definitely stepped up to the occasion. Being just 18 years old, he's played very, very well. And in the USDP, he's also played amazingly. Again, being injured to start the season, he didn't really get too much of a break, but he came off, jumped off right at the start, and has played fantastic ever since. And he's showing why he's so consistent. We've seen that throughout this season, and again, coming off of injury, it's looked like he's been as healthy as ever. And even though Alex Turcotte missed about 20 games of the USDP season, he's still been able to finish 5th overall in scoring right now, behind guys like Jack Hughes, obviously. But that is not an easy task, and Alex Turcotte has come up and played well ever since he's come back from injury, which takes a lot of guts and, of course, a ton of hard work. And when it comes to Alex Turcotte, the offensive skills that he possesses is one of the best in this draft so far. And when it comes to Alex Turcotte, I've always liked the guy pretty much for the past 2 years. He's really impressed me with his overall offensive capabilities, and the overall game that he has is also great. The defense, I think, for him is pretty underrated. He can't get physical, but obviously the bread and butter for him is the offense. His hockey IQ is through the roof. His shot has improved quite a bit. His passing is borderline elite. His speed is so fun to watch. It's just the tools he possesses, I think, will directly translate into the NHL, and while he might not make it the year after he's drafted, I think once he makes the NHL, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I've always been a big fan of Alex Turcotte. I had him number 3 in the draft heading into the NHL season. Of course, he started out injured, wasn't able to play, but once he got healthy, he really started to show why he is such a great player and such a great prospect in this draft. And to me personally, I think he has potential to maybe even go top 3 in this draft. I think I had him number 5 or something in my mock draft for last month, in the March mock draft, but even then, he's such a fantastic prospect that I wouldn't be surprised if he does go that high. Now, on to Trevor Zegras, who has had a very great and consistent season so far in the USDP. He is 18 years old, 6 foot, 168 pounds, from Bedford, New York, and so far, again, kind of like Alex Turcotte, has played both great in the USDP and in the USHL. Now, in the USDP this season, he's played 52 games, getting 23 goals, 51 assists for 74 points. In the USHL, he's played 25 games, getting 11 goals, 25 assists for 36 points. And those are fantastic numbers in both leagues. I would say the USDP stats are a little bit more impressive, but he kind of started the season very, very good, but then really got hot by the time of December, January, especially when Jack Hughes left for the World Junior team. So in my personal opinion, I don't think Zegras is carried by Hughes whatsoever. He's his own center. I'm pretty sure he's the second line center on that USDP team, but he's still a fantastic player in his own right, offensively, defensively. He really does bring it all, and kind of like Turcotte, has an amazing offensive potential. And Trevor Zegras uses all of his tools to his advantage, offensively, defensively. The patience that he has allows him to create chances and to create points. His IQ is through the roof. He knows where to pass, he knows where his teammates are at all times, and he knows the exact right thing to do offensively, of course. This shot is fantastic to pass. He can do it between the legs. He can do anything. He's just a special kind of player, and offensively, he has shown that so far this season. I think defensively, he's a pretty solid prospect, maybe a little bit of raw prospect, but he can also bring some physicality if needed. But the offense, of course, is what Trevor Zegras brings, and he brings a ton of it, of course. Now, both players are simply fantastic. Offensively, defensively, they both really do bring it all. But when it comes to the individual categories, stuff like shot, passing, it really does get close with a lot of those because both players, yes, while they are different, are very similar and very close when it comes to on-ice skill. Now in the first category, I have shots using both slap shots and wrist shots, looking at what they've done so far. And for me personally, I'm going to have Trevor Zegras on the side of the better shots. While Alex Turcotte has a decent shot, he is working on it. I feel like he's more of an individual passer. He's more of that natural passer rather than the guy that will take shots and actually score on them. Trevor Zegras, I think, is more of a finisher, even though he also passes a ton. He has a brilliant shot that I don't think he uses enough. And if he does use it, it's absolutely lethal. But Turcotte also has a pretty solid one too. Now the next category is going to be puck handling, and this one was a super hard one because both players are simply phenomenal when it comes to puck handling, but I gave the edge to Zegras in this category, mostly because I've seen a lot more of Zegras just being a magician out there. I've seen some of the dekes that he can make to sway defenders in the blue line, around the boards, whatever it might be. He is really just a magic man down there, and while Turcotte has some nifty angles, Zegras, I think, has the slight edge. The next category being hockey IQ, this one was also pretty hard. Both players have a ton of smarts on the ice. Both players almost always know what to do on the ice, but I gave the slight edge to Alex Turcotte in this category, mostly because he knows where to find the offensive opportunities. He knows where the puck will be at all times. He knows where his teammates are at all times, and that's how he sets up individual offensive chances, shots, and of course goals for him. And while Zegras has a lot of IQ, I feel like he uses that more in the defensive end rather than the offensive end, and Alex Turcotte, I think, uses it more to his advantage than Zegras. So I'm going to give the nod to Turcotte, but it is still very close. Now on to the next category, that being passing, and this one was a super hard one for me to personally make. Both Zegras and Turcotte are amazing passers, but I did give the nod to Alex Turcotte in this category. I feel like with Zegras, he has more offense potential when it comes to passing to become the better passer, but from what I've seen this season, I'll give the nod to Alex Turcotte. He just knows where his teammates are, he has that hockey IQ, and he always knows where to pass, and he usually does make that pass, and he always knows how to set up teammates and how to actually execute it, and while he has shot a lot more this season, the passing is also top-notch. Now going on to the next category, that being defense, and this one was also a pretty hard one because I think both guys have solid potential to become great two-way centers, but in my personal opinion, I gave the nod to Alex Turcotte in this also. To me personally, I feel like he just gives a little more effort on the defensive end. Zegras has a ton of potential defensively, but I'm not sure if he shows it 100% of the time. From what I've seen with Alex Turcotte, he always forechecks, he always plays that defensively, and in the neutral zone, he's just an absolute beast. So for me personally, I will give the nod to Alex Turcotte, but both guys should be fantastic defensive guys in the future. Now on to the last category, that being physicality, and this one was a little bit more easier than I would say some of the other categories, but I'm going to give it to Trevor Zegras in this one. In my personal opinion, I feel like Trevor Zegras uses his body a lot more to create chances, both in the offensive end and in the defensive end. Along the boards, he's just a beast, and while Alex Turcotte can use his size, Trevor Zegras is also more of a tall player and does use it to his advantage, even if he does weigh a lot less. But when it comes to his overall ability, I feel like Zegras will use that a lot more in his game. Alex Turcotte, I feel like, will be a lot more like a DeBrincat who doesn't really use his physicality, uses his raw skill to score goals, but with Trevor Zegras, he has a lot of potential in that end, and while he'll never be that rough and tumble grinder, I think he will use it a lot to his advantage like a lot of NHL players do right now. And with the 6 categories, it was split down the middle, 3 to Alex Turcotte and 3 to Trevor Zegras, and that means it's up to me and you to decide which prospect is better in this ranking. And to me personally, if I'm going by myself, I'm going to say right now, Alex Turcotte is the better prospect out of the two. It is very, very close to me personally. I feel like it's more close than some people might give it credit for. I love Trevor Zegras and his game, but I personally believe that Alex Turcotte is the better prospect and playing like the better player right now, and to that, I'll give him the advantage. But of course, I love both of these players, offensively, defensively, physically. They have a lot of potential. Both guys are likely to be great players in the NHL and great players for Team USA in the future. And I'm excited for what they will bring, the potential that they bring as well. In my personal opinion, I think they are both top 5 players in this upcoming NHL draft. Maybe even top 6, but I feel like with both of them, they will have successful NHL careers, and to any team that drafts them, they'll be very lucky to do so. But I feel like Alex Turcotte and Trevor Zegras are both kind of in the same boat to where they should be both top 10 centers at least in this NHL draft. But they kind of get overshadowed a little bit by guys like Jack Hughes, who have been fantastic so far in the USTP. But both Zegras and Turcotte are fantastic in their own rights and deserve to be recognized. And while I do prefer Alex Turcotte, I'll love to see the day when both of these guys are battling it out. But of course, with this video, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments down below. So, let me know, what do you think about Alex Turcotte and Trevor Zegras? What do you think about both prospects? And of course, the big question, who do you think is the better prospect? Alex Turcotte or Trevor Zegras? But, if you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, you can click on this card right here to watch my video about Jack Hughes versus Capo Caco, and me determining which player is the better prospect. But that is going for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on the Alex Turcotte versus Trevor Zegras battle and which prospect you think is the better one. And I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.